It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. It's going to be chilly with below normal temperatures across the eastern half of the U.S. today. In fact, widespread record lows are expected from the south central plains into the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Meanwhile, elevated to critical fire weather threats are likely in the central Gulf Coast region. Finally, rain will arrive in the Pacific Northwest and could produce some flooding. Closer to home, no critical weather in the forecast, just lots of sunshine as temperatures continue to increase. Expect the 70s by the weekend. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Yesterday's joint meeting between the city of Alamogordo and Otero County featured several important topics, including the concept of establishing a joint city and county animal control department, which would house a no-kill shelter, as well as have an on-staff veterinarian in order to administer vaccinations, as well as spay and neuter surgeries.
I really like the plan that Donna Anna has with their joint county and city animal control. I think it's working well. And also, I know that our county attorney, when we look at the budget for our animal control, if we do some budget changes and some joint decisions, we're going to be able to hire our own in-house veterinarian, which we know is going to save a lot of money with just spaying and neutering, vaccinations, and all that. And that's our number one cause. We have to get that under control.
Commissioner Amy Barella went on to say that putting down animals simply for existing must stop. I happen to agree with her. She also discussed penalties against those who abuse animals. Other topics of interest that were discussed in the meeting: catch and release joint efforts in honor of Officer Ferguson, violence, beautification, as well as economic development. But the big one? Mental and community health. Now this topic is touchy. Some homeless are content being homeless. I personally don't understand it, but that is a fact. They don't break any laws, they just choose to be outdoors. I'm not saying all or even most, but there are some. Others are drug addicts who lost everything feeding an addiction. This is part of the community that needs help. Others yet are mentally ill. This group needs a lot of help. While a small percentage can be called criminally insane, it is a very small portion. The remainder are simply ill. Ignoring the problem is heartless. Locking them up forever in sanitariums is both cruel and ineffective. Last year, gubernatorial candidate Karen Bedoni suggested rounding them up and forcing the homeless en masse into testing and rehabilitation centers.
Mandatory rehabilitation. You have to make these people go to rehab.
Sounds like an idea that Joseph Malenge also shared. I do understand that this is a complex problem, so what do we do?
We need to start at the beginning, which is getting our youth services and investing in those services so that they have a habit of maintaining their mental health, and we're not getting them as adults, because when they're adults, they end up into the criminal justice system.
Amber Mayhall, the Otero County Healthcare Services Director.
Why are our shootings going up? Why are overdoses going up? Why are so many things just happening in the city? Like, people that have lived here their whole life are seeing such a dramatic change in this city. And it's simple. It's drugs and it's alcoholism. And it's like one of those things that we just want to ignore, you know. Oh, well, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But the reality is it's happening more than we can count.
Anthony Torres, pastor of Mountain View Church.
I would love to see in the future a great detox recovery center here in this city, because what it will do is it will give people at least a fighting chance to make something of themselves and to break these generational curses that have been plaguing their families for such a long time.
Our mission is to eliminate childhood trauma so that the next generation will grow up, hopefully without some of these issues and some of these problems. And we don't directly offer services, but we work with all the wonderful people here in the audience that do directly give services, and we help to make the connections and get people where they need to be. We connect the providers.
Peg Krim, Action Teams Facilitator for 100% Otero.
I just want to make sure you all know, and you're welcome to come out on Saturday. We will be having our second annual Day of Hope in conjunction with the 12th Judicial District's legal pro bono legal day, a second chance job fair for people who may have a record, and employers will be there. Some who hire folks are willing to talk to it. There's going to be ability to work on a resume, maybe apply for things, drop-in counseling, how to get food resources. There'll be medical screenings, pet vaccinations, and things like that. There are going to be some VA folks there to help veterans, and a community meal from Runner's Refuge. So come on out. It'll be around the courthouse.
Pastor Rich from Runner's Refuge also spoke.
What we're doing is we have an emergency overnight shelter for the homeless.
He also spent some of his time asking for donations and then described the facilities.
We have a special room that we can put up mom and babies if we need to, and we can overnight shelter 6 ladies in our facility. We can probably put about 12 men in our men's facility, which is actually an old church building.
Former city commissioner and failed mayoral candidate Nadia Sykes spoke about running the chill room this past summer. That was a space that offered air conditioning and snacks for homeless or for those without reliable cooling to not get heat stroke or worse when temperatures were in the triple digits. Sykes pointed out that the heat was killing people in other parts of the nation.
We did it so that Alamogordo wouldn't look bad by having people dying on the streets from being hot.
You know, I really hope there was more of a reason than that, but no other reason was presented. I did speak with Mayor Payne following the meeting.
We yielded some results out of it, and some things, of course, we're still working on. And we knew that some of the things that we'd be talking about, we weren't really going to get any results from it because there's not a lot as local government that we can do. But it's good to talk about those things at least and make the public aware. Because I think, if nothing else, a public awareness, of course, is really important.
I also spoke with County Commissioner Amy Barella.
I really want to move forward with addressing recovery centers. I think that's the first doable thing that we can actually accomplish. It's low enough expense to have a facility, and I think after we have a facility, I think we'll be able to get a facilitator, such as Presbyterian or some other, that is, their expertise of recovery centers, and I think that will also address our mentally ill issues.
You can see the meeting in its entirety on the City of Alamogordo YouTube channel. The Village of Tularosa Senior Center Arts and Crafts Fair is happening at the Senior Center coming up next week. It'll be on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you have any questions, call 575-585-4532 or just swing by and visit 35 Radio Road in Tularosa. Tularosa Municipal Schools is asking if anyone is interested in volunteering to help make fry bread for the high school students on November 17th from 9 until 11. Please contact Ashley or Kelly. That phone number is 575-585-8866. Well, today is Wednesday, so it's time for our weekly report from Love Inc. We go now to Susan Payne.
Hey, good morning, Alamogordo. This is Susan with Love Inc. of Otero County giving you our weekly report. I'd like to start off by letting everybody know about this weekend on Saturday from 10 to 2 down on New York Avenue over by the courthouse. We're going to have the Day of Hope, and Love Inc. will have a table out there sharing our information and giving out some items. So come down and see us from 10 to 2. If you know anybody that can benefit from these services, I know we're going to have legal aid out there. They're going to have a veterinary clinic for the pets and veteran services and a whole lot more. So come and see us at 10 to 2 on Saturday. Also, just a reminder that we do have our food pantry available. It has been pretty busy, I will say. And if you or someone you know needs that help, just give us a call and you can make an appointment. It's 575-439-4812. And finally, a reminder that we do partner with Animal Village to provide pet food for your dogs. Of course, I remind you of that quite often, but we do have those services available. And the last thing I wanted to mention is we are the administrator for Otero County for PNM's Good Neighbor Fund. So we can help pay up to $170 on an electric bill. So if you or someone you know needs those services, again, give us a call, 575-439-4812, and we will see what we can do to help you out with that. Until next week, Alamogordo and Otero County, be blessed.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
The New Mexico State Police are investigating a man and woman who were found dead at a home in Pecos. Thomas Bastian, age 30, and Rene Romero, age 33, both from Pecos, were both found dead at a home on Saturday. A 17-year-old called the police and said he heard gunshots inside that home. Officers arrived at the residence and found both Bastian and Romero dead in the master bedroom with apparent gunshot wounds. Agents later learned that Bastian and Romero had been involved in an argument on Saturday morning when the teen heard the gunshots coming from the bedroom. The New Mexico State Police Investigations Bureau calls the deaths suspicious. The state withdrew a motion to keep Ivan Gonzalez behind bars. Gonzalez is facing a second-degree murder charge for beating his father, Mario Gonzalez, to death. The two got into an argument, and police say Ivan then beat his father, who later died at the hospital. Gonzalez was in court on Friday for a pretrial detention hearing, but the state withdrew that motion. So unless the state refiles, Gonzalez, who is likely a killer, will be released. The conditions of release say he will have to wear an ankle monitor and remain at a family member's home. P&M officials want you to know about certain things as temperatures cool down, such as bill assistance. As a matter of fact, this past summer, P&M assisted more than 20,000 low to mid-income customers with over $1 million in assistance. They say that these tips can help you save money before your bill comes due.
During the winter months, we advise our customers to, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but use your ceiling fan. Turn it on low, turn it clockwise. What that'll do is it'll circulate the heat, push it down into the areas that you use. Also use the natural heater, the sun. Open up your blinds, let the sunlight in. Also, this is something that we did on a DIY earlier this year, is you can seal your windows, seal your doors, go around your house and any walls that are facing the outside. You can put insulation behind your switch plates and your outlets, and that really does make a difference and keep the heat inside your home. Also lower your thermostat comfortably if you can. Seal your cracks, I mentioned that, and also install a smart thermostat. So you can program that to kick in when you're at home and then go lower when you're not at home. We have all those tips at pnm.com/tips, and also the financial assistance information is available at pnm.com/help.
That was Kai Porter of PNM speaking on KOB. Sports and weather are coming up next. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
Well, there's 5 matches for New Mexico volleyball today, including Deming at Santa Teresa and Silver at Chaparral. There are 18 games for New Mexico football on Friday. Grady at Roy Mascaro, Belen at Deming, Hatch at Dexter, Loving at Santa Rosa, as well as Tularosa at Jal. We spoke with head football coach Mike Filichetti.
Well, it's our quarterfinal game, and we're going to go have a rematch with them. We played them early in the year and barely lost to them. We had a chance to win it. I mean, we could have attempted an extra point to tie it or go for 2 in the win, and I decided to go for the win and barely fell short on that. So, they're a good team, and our kids are excited, though. I think our kids are starting to realize that they, how good they are.
You can hear his entire commentary on our YouTube channel. Your Crazy Radio spot on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, mostly clear tonight and sunny tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 60. Low tonight of 37. High tomorrow, 67 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, mostly clear tonight and sunny tomorrow. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 45. Low tonight of 24. High tomorrow, 51 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. We've also launched the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, and it features our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. We'd like to take a moment to thank those of you that have subscribed to our YouTube channel, and if you have not yet done so, well, please do so. That way you too can remain in the loop when it comes to news in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.